It's news time. Information is power. Be current. The news headline. Aso Rock shake over danger alert as politicians finally realize that Nigeria problem is tied to Kanu. Cry to Buhari. Major General Muhammadu Buhari retired has been recommended to consider Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, as part of the solution to Nigeria's problem. Obinna Ichata, a member of All Progressive Grand Alliance in Abia State, chieftain and member of the Aba South constituency in the Abia State House of Assembly, made this appeal in Aba, saying that instead of persecuting or calling for Nnamdi Kanu's head, Nigeria should look forward for reasons in most of the important issues he raised and find a genuine way to address them as soon as possible. Ichita urged the president not to dismiss demand for Kanu's release made by respected Igbo elders and lawmakers, maintained that the best option to resolving the issue of Nnamdi Kanu's case for self-determination was for a political solution, and prayed that the Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, for stating a political solution to Kanu's case is possible. Even if the president did not want to shift grounds over Kanu's case, because respected Igbo elders and bishops are now involved, it should solve better for their sake, Ichita said. Meanwhile, Sokoto State Governor Aminu Waziri Tambuwa has ordered the immediate arrest of a musician who sang a song praising a bandit known as Bilo Toji. According to the Daily Post, the artist Mohammed Tanshawa praised the bandit leader in a viral song tape, praising him as a lion, untouchable, and a superb commander. The governor issued an order to apprehend the singer 3 days after the song went viral on social media platforms, according to this source. We ordered his arrest to serve as deterrent to others, Governor Tambuwa said in response to the song. This explains why I advised the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Nigerian Armed Force to consider the best strategy for dealing with insecurity situation, because residents in the areas where security is a concern are willing to be trained in weapon handling, he added. Bello Toji, the bandit kingpin, was honored with a 14-minute song by the musician, and most of the residents of Sokoto State who were not comfortable with the song described the action of the musician as unpatriotic and unacceptable. The song is capable of fooling young people into idolizing or even paying loyalty to the bandit boss, squadron leader Aminu Bala said. Aside from the squadron leader, many of the citizens of the state believe that allowing the song to be played would improve the morale of the bandits in the country's northwestern region, and therefore the governor of the state had actually summoned that the singer should actually be arrested as soon as possible. If not urgently addressed, the attacks, intimidation, and harassment of the judiciary will render judges unable to defend the rule of law, to provide accountability for the many gross rights violations in the country, or to protect the rights of the Nigerian people. Nigerian authorities have taken a legal obligation to take measures to protect the independence of the judiciary and ensure the safety and security of individual judges. SERAP urges you to visit Nigeria to carry out a mission to investigate cases of intimidation and harassment of judges, assess the independence of the judiciary and the rule of law, and to continue to monitor the situation. The proposed visit would help to support the efforts to bring Nigeria's justice system in line with the international standards and free of political interference. Nigerian authorities continue to fail and also to thoroughly, impartially, independently, transparently, and effectively investigate cases of attacks, intimidation, and harassment of judges, the very people who protect and guarantee human rights, while the Nigerian authorities have arrested some of the suspected perpetrators. At least 10 more persons reportedly involved in the assault on Justice Odili are still very large. Independence of the judiciary is enshrined in the Nigerian Constitution, of 1999 as amended, and under human rights treaties, including the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights and the African Charter on Human and People's Rights, to which Nigeria is a state party. The attack on Justice Odili is not an isolated incident. There have been several violations of judicial independence and the rule of law in the country. In 2016, for example, Nigerian authorities reportedly invaded in the middle of the night the homes of some judges of the Federal High Court and justice of the Supreme Court. The authorities have so far failed or refused to identify those suspected to be responsible and to bring them to justice. An independent judiciary is essential to the protection of human rights and respect for the rule of law. The principles of independence are the hallmark of the rationale and legitimacy of the judicial function in every state. Their absence leads to denial of justice and makes the credibility of the judicial process dubious. It is the principle of the separation of powers, together with the rule of law, that opens the way to an administration of justice that provides guarantees of independence and transparency. As expressed in the Bangalore Principles of Judicial Conduct, judicial independence is a prerequisite to the rule of law and a fundamental guarantee of a fair trial. According to our information on Friday, October 29, 2021, some people claiming to be soldiers and policemen invaded the Abuja home of the said Justice Mary Odili, and the perpetrators identified themselves as members of the government joint task force and used a fraudulently obtained search warrant to attempt to gain access into Justice Odili's residence. The perpetrators claimed they had information that illegal activities were going on in such residence, and that was why they went to invade the house of the Justice Odili. And this intimidation and harassment has actually been questioned, and therefore Sarah, who happens to be the special rapporteur on the independence of judges and lawyers over vicious assaults of Justice Mary Odili, had actually took their time to say that this is an intentional act by the federal government of Nigeria to deprive the judicial system of their freedoms, and therefore this poses a great risk to the independence and authority of our judicial system, which will put all Nigerians' freedom at risk if care is not taken. Thanks for listening.